I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story is about Western singer Akelle, Charles. This week at Birmingham Crown Court, the singer has been found guilty of possession of a firearm and jailed for 6 years. Police have released the image of the gun and a clown mask that was found in the back of a car after they were stopped at a service station. Akelle Charles and Ricardo Thomas were in the vehicle, and in the back of the boot was a pistol, 15 rounds of ammunition and a mask. A police investigation found that the gun had been used in a shooting in London a month before, and this was only 2 miles away from where Akelle lived in Shepherd's Bush. The pair were discovered in a rental car. They'd driven from the capital to Wolverhampton in the West Midlands on the 26th of October. The day before, the pair were arrested. Charles and Thomas made a stop on Cannock Road on the 27th of October before they headed down the M40 and stopped at Warwick Services when they were arrested just before 9 p.m. The pistol was recovered in a black Nike manbag and was forensically examined and linked to bullet casings left at the scene of a shooting a month earlier, where a number of bullets were fired at a house. Charles lived nearby the scene, but they had no other evidence linking him to the incident. Messages recovered from the men's phone suggested they had heavy involvement and also knowledge of firearms. And Detective Inspector Amar Patel from the West Midlands Regional Organised Crime Unit said these men were heading back to London at the time of their arrest. They were caught with a loaded firearm, gloves and a mask in a hired car that was in somebody else's name. We'll never know what their plans were, but they had a loaded gun and they were dangerous men. Thomas from Smethwick and Charles from Devonport Road in London admitted possession of the firearm and also ammunition. Ricardo Thomas was jailed for 8 years and Akelle Charles was jailed for 6 years and 9 months, and this was part of Operation Target. For fans of the group Western, they're going to be devastated to hear this news, and it's also a shame that his life has been put on hold and he's ruined these chances of his career by doing this. But the last time that Western released music was 2022, and the band have definitely been battling a lot of issues behind the scenes. Akelle has always been in some way involved distantly to violence that has occurred in his local area. In 2017, he was jailed after several people, himself included, raided a home on the basis that they believed that somebody had robbed somebody earlier in the day. But the police said that this address had nothing to do with the incident that had occurred, and during it, an old woman was actually injured. There was no actual direct implication to say that Akelle was the one responsible for it, but because he was part of the group, the papers sort of implied that he may have been responsible. But there was nothing to actually suggest, and he wasn't actually charged with that. He was charged with violent disorder. This was in 2017 alongside his brother, they were both jailed for 3 years. And Akelle also has a famous brother as well, who is the singer Angel, and he's had a lot of success and also worked with Akelle on other songs, as well as his own success solo-wise. And he comes from a very musical family. Western had a lot of success with songs like Into, and they also had a lot of success with Atlantic Records that they were signed to over several years. In 2022, Akelle Charles and the rest of the group actually made friends with a girl called Hayley Smith, who was a fan of the group and had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. The British group made a song for her, and all of the money went to her family to do whatever they wished to do with it. And this was a good example of the sort of music that Western produced and the positive message that they had most of the time. Their music was a mix of R&B and hip-hop, but it definitely opened up a whole different type of music and also different fans. The song was so well received by her family that Hayley's family asked Akelle to be a pallbearer at her funeral, which he did, and she sadly passed away several months later. So this is a breaking news story coming from Birmingham Crown Court, and I really look forward to hearing what the viewers have to say. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.